In our courses which we had, for example, the course AI for Teachers, but also the AI for Teachers on gymnasium level. We had some really interesting outcome. One outcome of this LTU course, which made me a bit sad, and I will come to that a bit later in this video, is that teachers in the university, quite often they are too much stressed with the immediate projects they have in mind, that they don't care too much about the education in 5 or 10 years. We think from LTU leadership side, also from the LTU transformative AI transformation group, it's very important to also keep in mind how tools and the whole pedagogy will change in the future. Not only the current question, how do I do my examination in future? The answer, as you know from the course, is we need more oral or individual meetings with students where we discuss and assess their knowledge, because just text-based generated material can be just based on language models, and we have to assess, is the knowledge really in the student? But what we found, if we make people aware of all that and about the possibilities of the tools, they really want to use it. As an example, a cohort of 30 teachers took this course on AI for gymnasium level education from a technical perspective. And we had just yesterday on December 3rd here, 2024, a webinar where we discussed about the outcomes of the course and also about how maybe AI changes education in the future. It was really interesting. First of all, I realized that there are these were the champions from group discussions, so some representatives from group discussions, but in all of the group discussions, they were unisono agreeing on that the use of AI is really helpful, and they became actually ambassadors of the usage of AI in schools. So they by themselves started using AI, they showed it to their peers, and the peers realized it is really helpful, and more teachers are using AI and allowing the students to use AI. But very interesting as well is this aspect of transdisciplinary education. So quite often you want to make education more engaging, a project where you want to combine different disciplines. Or maybe you have a lecture, for example, a lecture in mathematics, and you want to motivate that the content which you're creating or teaching is really important for many other subjects. Nowadays, you can just ask generative AI methods, yeah, how can I now use these methods of statistics in music? And it will come up with some ideas on how to do it. And this gives a nice inspiration for projects some of the teachers actually implemented. And you can use them as examples in your courses to motivate your students of the importance of your material. But we realized very much that education becomes more and more individualized. Even though some of the AI assistants are not there yet in all of the areas, ChatGPT and other general tools are often used already by students, and we need to make them aware, be critical about the outcomes, but use them and tell them maybe in a nice way how to use them. Here are some nice ways the teachers or others came up with. One is, for example, make the AI the student, and you, as a student of our course, you become the teacher for the AI. And then you can give a prompt instruction, say, okay, dear AI, you are now a student. You asked a few questions to your partner, the teacher. And in case the teacher says something wrong, ask some further questions which slowly reveal this without telling them directly that they're wrong. And by that, you have like an ultimate way of a Socratic method where students actively learn to teach things to others, and by that actually learn also the content more deeper by themselves. And one of our teachers who took this course, was a student in our course, Jonas Hall, created actually a set of several chatbots which help in different tasks. was really liked by many of the other teachers because it's very practical scenarios where there are several adjusted ChatGPTs for different use cases. This idea of Socratic learning, which I just mentioned, is also better described in how we realize it with large language models by our colleague Satish from Umeå University. And he made a whole website. He calls it AI Literacy SE. And on this website, he not only describes what AI is about, but goes very practical to many, many different tools, how AI can be useful in very different scenarios, for example, in individualized learning. And if you don't want to use just ready-made given prompts, but you have your own questions, there are also tools like Magic School, which a group of researchers in the AI pedagogy whole realm identified as quite useful is this prompt assist. So when you have a simple prompt which you want to ask, it can give you some feedback and suggestions for maybe better prompts, how to be more clear to the chatbot what you actually want. Because sometimes you say, I want to have a description of a jaguar, but it is not clear. Do you mean the car? Do you mean the animal? And when you see then some suggestions, then you can rephrase it and say, in biology, in this context, I, as a teacher, want to explain to my students who just come out of school the concept and in-depth description of different aspects of a jaguar. And then this will be your prompt, which you then asked. For example, ChatGPT or whatever your favorite AI language generative AI tool is.